Hey guys, it's Chris here from Bristol Rock Centre, bringing you the first of our lockdown BRC lockdown lessons. Sofa singing, something like that. We haven't decided a name yet, but hope you're all staying safe, staying well. Here's my first vocal tip for all of you who are in lockdown with the rest of us. How do we approach practicing when we have neighbors, we have family, horrible siblings or spouses or anyone really? I think most of us have struggled at some point with this kind of like practice nerves or anxiety perhaps, and I think most of this, us myself included, probably choose to sing when no one's around. So we don't have that option so much now. So what can we do about it? Well, I want to sort of talk about a couple of points. I think the main thing is to talk about what you can do with your environment and the people that are in it. And the other thing would be to talk about what you can do with your own attitudes and your headspace towards singing. And then lastly, as a bonus, I've got a fun exercise you can do if you're still really nervous about singing in the lockdown. So let's begin. So first of all, what can we do with our environment? Well, the first thing that obviously we could do is try to find a comfortable space where we can practice. This could be in your bedroom, but if not, you could maybe have a look to see if you can find yourself a cupboard somewhere even, or the garage, or any other room in your house where you feel the most isolated, the most comfortable, and the most free to practice with your voice. Of course, if that's not possible, you could try some makeshift soundproofing. Now, it may or may not help, but you could try mattresses propped up against the wall or door. You could put towels over your door. Whether or not it really blocks the sound out, it's not too important. You could sing into a pillow if you really wanted to. It's not ideal, but the point is, again, if you've got the option to do it, setting up your environment so you feel psychologically prepared to sing, give it a go, see if you can do it. Okay, if you can't find your own space, what can you do? Talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to whoever you live with, talk to the neighbours. Explain to them this is something that's really important to you. Explain to them it might not sound that great, we're practicing, we're doing exercises, we're making some weird sounds sometimes, but just explain this to them, that this is something that is important to you, it's something that you enjoy, and it's something that's necessary for you to continue improving your voice. Most of the people are going to be pretty reasonable about that. Obviously, think about the hours in which you're singing and make sure that you come to some arrangement in terms of the hours. Make sure it's in, a time where you can both be happy, however long that is, for an hour or whatever time in the afternoon, in the morning. Talk to the people around you and make those arrangements with you. It really will help kind of push aside any worries about whether or not you're bothering anybody. Okay, what else can we do? Okay, this next one kind of straddles the border between your mindset and your environment, and this would be a kind of graduated exposure kind of approach. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is you start off small, and then what you're going to do is you're going to start off with, maybe very light exercises, anything that you feel like doing, or singing songs very softly, singing quietly, and just experimenting with that to see what the response is. Hopefully, most of you will find that you can comfortably sing quietly in your bedroom at 1 o'clock in the afternoon without upsetting anybody. But once you've done that, then try and sing a little louder. Maybe try a few kind of belting exercises. Hey! See if that upsets anybody. See if the whole house falls apart. It probably won't. It probably won't. Take it step by step. Start with what you're most comfortable with. Whether that's singing exercises or singing songs, whether it's singing songs that are more comfortable in your range, songs you're more familiar with, before you try the more difficult stuff. Take it step by step, day by day, and what you'll find, hopefully, probably, is that you get more and more used to singing around people. They'll get more and more used to you singing, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so what can we do in terms of our mindset? Well, we've already kind of talked about that. We said about, reminding your neighbours or whoever that this is important to you. Remind yourself that it's really important to you. Remind yourself that you're learning, that you're growing, that your voice is developing, and that you need to take these step-by-step stages in order to improve your voice, in order to get more comfortable singing. So that's an important part. You can also remind yourself, and this kind of ties in with the last point, what's the worst that's going to happen? Even if you do kind of upset your neighbours, what are they going to do? They're going to bang on the wall? Trade-off. This is something that's important to you. And remind yourself as well, it's really important, this is something you do for fun. Try and turn some of that nervous energy into excitement and do things that are fun and do things that way. Lastly, I would say, if your sibling or your neighbours were practicing the vocals, or a different instrument, a trumpet is a very loud instrument, a violin sounds awful if you can't play it at first, but nonetheless, we understand that we have to do that in order to practice and improve, and we would give each other the respect to do that. So think, how would you treat someone else if they were practicing their singing? And expect the same from them. Whether or not they give it to you, it depends. But at the end of the day, tell them to get over it. Right? Okay. So that, I think, sums up most of the points about singing. I hope this was a useful video for you. I think it's the most important thing really to talk about, especially, while everybody's stuck at home, because you need to get past these things in order to take on, hopefully some of the advice that you will be putting out there in the coming days, weeks, months, hopefully not months. Lastly then, a silly thing you can do with your hands, okay? This is something that I feel like I might have invented. Hopefully this is a YouTube exclusive. But here's an exercise you can do. It's based on the idea of semi-occluded phonation. A semi-occluded phonation simply is anything like a lip roll, humming even. You may have seen people practice with straws or doing something like this. Right? Well, very silly, of course. Well, here's something even sillier, but I found quite useful when I've been warming up for gigs or anywhere where I haven't felt so comfortable singing around people. Get one hand like this with your palm, get your other hand like this, and what you're going to do is kind of create a light seal on your hands, okay? So the idea here is this is going to muffle the sound, but it's also going to produce a little bit of back pressure, a little bit of pressure above your vocal folds, which will help bring them together, help you practice safely and comfortably. And you just do this. There you go, I knew I'd embarrass myself doing this. But you can do that, you can do sirens like that, you can sing scales. You can do it pretty loud. And try using your full voice. You can even scream into it. For the screamers out there. And hopefully not upset your family or neighbours too much. I'm Chris for Bristol Rock Centre. We'll see you again real soon. We'll be posting content like this out in the coming weeks as things go. Keep practicing. Stay safe. Stay singing. We'll see you again. Bye.